Hello everyone, this is a voltage converter in my hand. It's bought from Amazon. It's made by DOACE and this is 2200 watts converter and adapter combination as it says on the box. What's in the box? The voltage converter itself, the power supply cable and different kind of plugs and some instructions. So why I needed this? Because when you are traveling outside US or outside your country anywhere, there are two types of voltages that work in different countries in this world. One is 100 to 120 volts range, that is in US, Canada, and some places like Asia, Europe, they have 200 to 220 volts of power that comes into your appliances. So if you plug your appliance that works for 110 or something around this range volts, you plug that in 220 240 volts socket, you will burn it. So you need this converter, and forget about where you are traveling, wherever you are, what the voltage is, it's not a problem for you. So even then you have a proper appliance. For example, you are in US and the appliance is also 110 volts, but that appliance has rounded tip of these prongs, or you can say the pins are rounded. You cannot use that appliance. How will you use that? I will tell you. Because you will need some kind of adapter, some kind of different type of plugs. So guys, what are the components of this power converter? It has got an input socket. You can plug your 3 prongs plug in here, and this plug goes in the power supply of your wall socket. And these are 3 sockets on the top. What the voltage comes out of these sockets, it depends on the voltage that is coming in this voltage converter. If we are in the US and let's say it's 110 volts of supply coming inside this power converter, all the 3 sockets will provide 110 volts. If you are outside US in an area where there is 240 volts input, these 2 sockets will give you 240 volts. They will not change. These 2 go with this input, but this one, that's with the American flag. That is self-explanatory why they made a flag over here. This means this socket will convert the 240 volts of electricity into 110 range. Okay, so that's also written over there. These 2 sockets, dual adapter sockets, 100 to 240 volts AC, 50 or 60 hertz electricity, 10 amperes maximum. This one, auto switch voltage converter socket. This is called auto switch voltage converter socket. 220 to 240 volts AC. If you give it to this converter, this one will convert into 100 to 120 volts, 50 hertz, and maximum is 2200 watts over here. And if you give 100 to 120 volts input, it will remain the same voltage, and 10 ampere would be the maximum. What else is here? It has got 4 smart 2.4 amperes USB ports that you can plug your devices in. At the same time, you can plug in different devices. The maximum amperes it can handle is 6 amperes. So 5 volts DC ports. Some ventilation mechanism here for heat dissipation, and this voltage converter has got a self switch off mechanism. If it heats up too much, overnight, or you are sleeping, you're away, it can turn off. So it's a peace of mind. So what's the size of it? If I hold it in my hand, it's very little thing, but it has got a lot of functions. The different kind of plugs they have provided. This one, it will work in Europe, Middle East, Africa, Asia, Caribbean, and this is 100 to 240 volts, 10 ampere maximum. This is, you can see the rounded tip. These prongs, they are slanted at an angle. They look like the shape is same like US plugs, but they are at an angle. So they work in Australia, China and Fiji, New Zealand. This is 3-prong plug, and it works in Great Britain, Ireland, Africa, Hong Kong and Singapore and many other countries. They have written here, I have read that it works in 220 countries or something like that. So it's a good thing. It helps a lot when I travel outside, and it works very fine. Thank you. Bye.